Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining us in this migration conference, the 8th in the series. We were supposed to be in North Macedonia, Tetovo, at Southeast European University campus. Unfortunately, it wasn't as we planned. Due to COVID, we had to do it online. I will not spend much time with introductions. I would like to thank our guests, our hosts, Professor Memeti and Merita Zulfi, our co-chair from Southeast European University, Tetovo, North Macedonia. And I will now give the floor to Professor Memeti to say a few words and welcome the audience. Professor Memeti, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay. Dear conference organizers, Professor Sirkeci, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and pleasure to be an online host for the 8th International Migration Conference, which I think is by a global network and forum for academicians, practitioners, and NGO activists from all over the world, which are addressing a very important topic of migration. Allow me at the beginning, on the behalf of the Rector of Southeast European University, Professor Regent, to express our profound and sincere gratitude to the distinguished guests of the conference organizers to choosing SCU for hosting 2020 Migration Conference. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the travel restrictions, we were not able to organize a conference in the beautiful campus of Southeast European University at Tetovo. Let me add that Southeast European University at Tetovo is an internationally recognized private for-profit university, inaugurated in 2001 and financed by the international community upon initiative of OSCE High Commissioner for National Minorities, Mr. Max van der Stoel, with a mission to contribute to higher education in the Albanian language through mutual interethnic and multicultural understanding. The SCU is located in Tetovo, Republic of North Macedonia, with a branch campus in Skopje. Since its establishment, the university has succeeded in combining the best European and US practices to benefit from countless academic collaboration sponsored by the European Commission, USAID, and other donors. Consisting of 5 faculties, half dozen of centers and institutes, it is offering more than 100 programs with around 4,000 students in first, second, and third cycle of studies. We are very proud to say that Southeast European University is the only university in the region with a multilingual, multicultural approach, utilizing the model of flexible use of languages, offering programs in Albanian, Macedonian, and English language in 3 cycle of studies. Coming back to the conference topic, we live in an unprecedented era of human mobility. Today, there are nearly 1 billion migrants all over the world. Every 7 of them is international migrant. In this context, it is expected that in 2015, the number of international migration will double. Europe alone is expected to have 50 million migrants in 2040 to fill its workplace, which implies that large migration is therefore reality, and neither the current global economic crisis with the pandemics nor the restrictive measures can halt or can slow down. I have to say that migration is not about just feeding or giving political shelter to people. It has profound cultural, social ramification, and I think that universities have a very important role to address the implications seriously. Universities can play a role in educating students, changing the cultural perception, and informing policy with evidence-based policy making in an era of heightened migration, particularly in a world when the rights of the migrants are coming under threat from the populist policymakers. Thus, universities have to work together on multidisciplinary approach on migration, tackling from economic, social, cultural perspective. Let me say that you can find that our university can be a strong and reliable partner in such an endeavor if you plan to investigate in the future. Let me stress again that we are very disappointed that due to the global pandemics, we couldn't meet and organize this event in the SU campus. But hopefully, with Professor Sirkeci, we can find other avenues, to host you, all of you, in the campus. Concluding, allow me to say that on behalf of SEU, I would like to wish you a successful and enlightening conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Memeti. We were trying to share a video with you, but I'm not sure if it is ready. Merita, can you hear me? If it is ready, we can share the video.
I shared it.
Yep. Now I pass the floor to our colleague Merita Zulfiu, the co-chair of Migration Conference 2020. Merita, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Sirkeci. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to be as a co-chair. I was very excited last year when I received the invitation. Unfortunately, we could not host you as already it is known the difficult situation of the COVID-19. Dear conference executive committees, dear keynote speakers, dear hosting chair of the conference, Dean of the Faculty of Contemporary Social Sciences, Professor Memeti, dear participants, this year of 2020 will be remembered as one of the most difficult years in the lives of many people, because it was the year where we lost thousands of lives due to COVID-19, the years that changed people psychologically. So some of them brought them closer to their families, however, some challenged them psychologically by making them weaker, and some of them make them stronger in character. It affected the economies of the whole world. If it has damaged the developed economies, it is expected that developing and transition economies to be severely damaged from this situation. An initial assessment of the impact of COVID-19 on the North Macedonia labor market and on the region is widely anticipated that will be severe, pushing thousands of people into unemployment, underemployment, and working poverty. According to Tourism Association in Macedonia, about 70,000 jobs are threatened in this sector. However, by now, about 18,000 jobs are lost in most affected sectors. This could further influence and motivate people to leave the country. The recent data which we have, by now about 33% of the total population has already left the country in 2019, so this is expected to be increased. Migration in North Macedonia was influenced by different factors, such as unfavorable labor market changes and the overall economic, political, social situation of the country since its independence in 1991. In the past 2 decades, migration of highly also skilled people from North Macedonia has been a problem. Not like before, just the low skilled people were mainly emigrating. Now, more educated and high skilled workers move abroad for better opportunities, such as employment, further education, better living standards. From the period 1997 to 2005, the World Bank data show that about 29% of Macedonian citizens with university degree has already left the country. And not only in North Macedonia, but also in the Western Balkans, the brain drain marks a tendency of increase. It's a relatively high percentage of young people in the region that express that they want to leave the country. According to Eurostat data, around 230,000 people permanently left in 2018 in the region. The largest number is from Albania, then followed by Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Montenegro with a less number. Large shares of immigration can, as we know, negatively affect the countries of origin by imposing a high cost of human capital or by altering the demographic structure of the population with negative consequences in the long run, mostly for the social security and health systems. North Macedonia can learn from the best practices to transfer and circulation of knowledge and offer systematic state support in brain gain and brain circulation programs. Facilitating the development of new businesses could encourage also more immigrants to return to their home countries and suggest the need for concrete policy measures that will facilitate the reintegration into the home labor market and also the return of the human capital. Considering the high unemployment and poverty rate in North Macedonia and also in other Western Balkan countries, the promotion of, we think, small business sectors as a generator of growth is an important strategy for these countries. In addition, return migration through savings, also skills and establishment of transnational social networks could contribute further to eliminate technology gaps. Without extending it further, in the following sessions of the Migration Conference, we will have the opportunity to hear different perspectives from experts, researchers, and students working on different fields of migration. So I would like to use this opportunity to thank all the authors, participants, invited speakers, and conference committee for their contributions. I'm looking forward to hear all your presentations and chat with you during the coffee breaks. I wish all of us to have a successful conference and fruitful discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Merita. Thank you very much for this introduction and insight into Macedonian migration scene. Now